Now for the Pathfinder segment, we're now being joined by Ankit Mehta, co-founder and CEO of IdeaForge. IdeaForge's assets were in operational use during Operation Sindoor. Ankit, thanks for joining in and talking about future of warfare when we talk about it. Can drones ever make missiles redundant? I really want to get your take on it.
So, Shivan, if you've seen what happened during the Op Sindoor and what is happening in the war between Iran, Israel, US, drones are taking over a large part of the conversation and the reality on the battlefield. However, I would presently not go as far as saying that drones will replace missiles. There is always going to be a space for missiles, albeit they are a more expensive affair, and therefore, because they are more expensive, people can afford to defend against them using a more expensive resource. But against a lower cost drone that can be produced in very large numbers, the defense against it becomes very expensive with conventional means. So therefore, right now, at this point in time, we can see that drones are creating a lot of economic arbitrage insofar as war is concerned, and the interception of an incoming drone is becoming a nightmare because of its economic impact, other than the fact that it can actually cause a lot of havoc and it is being produced in very large numbers. So I don't think that they will replace, but yes, you will see that missiles will be used sparingly, more conservatively, where there is a real impact that is needed to cause an action on ground. But drones may become more common in terms of what we will trade with our adversaries.
Ankit, are all militaries across the world now pushing for low-cost, attritable assets, given the learnings from what we're seeing in West Asia and in Europe?
Yes, I think everyone's pushing towards low-cost, attritable assets, because what started in the Ukraine-Russia war was essentially a very big movement towards and a big shift in terms of mindset with respect to what is going to happen in a war where you need a lot of low-cost, attritable mass. But the evolution of the technology is also happening, because a lot of times you were focused on looking at a low-cost mass that is operated by somebody wearing goggles and glasses, and the identification of the target was coming from something else, and the destruction of the target was happening through these low-cost systems. I think progressively this chain of observing through some other asset and destruction through another asset, while the method may continue, the evolution will happen where these will have to be integrated together. And that integration is going to be required going forward, because it's going to be very difficult to sustain this one-to-one kind of an engagement. A one-to-many kind of engagement is what is being looked at with a lot more aggression than it was ever being witnessed earlier.
And Ankit, also, when we talk about one-to-many engagements, is that the latest technology that you're working on? What's the latest that you're on now?
Yeah, I think we are also looking at one-to-many. We have already started to experiment with one drone collaborating with other drones that may have attack weapons on them for deployment, or they themselves may be kamikaze systems, and these systems are going to be working together, where the kill chain is going to get shortened by one drone doing the observation and the others coming into role to be acting upon that observation that is identified as something that needs to be neutralized or needs to be attacked. So that's something that we are doing. We are already demonstrating those kind of capabilities, as well as I think that the need for collaborative autonomy is only going up. I think we will have to not just coordinate with aerial assets, but we'll have to coordinate with ground assets. We are doing an experiment where we are taking one drone and then launching another drone from that drone at a much larger distance of operation, so that it can look at targets on ground or in the air. So I think a lot of advanced concepts are being worked upon, and we are going to see a big movement towards collaborative autonomy going forward.
Ankit, thanks so much for joining us. Always a pleasure speaking with you and getting your insights on what's next in the battlefield domain. And joining me